Hello, hello, hello there. So it's time for Divine Fest, a farewell. So this is going to be the final castle event that we're going to get in these major style of divine events as we know them. And so, just like the previous castle event that we had in week 2 of this event, we will be heading into this one. It's more or less going to be the same thing, but with some different dragons and things like that. So, Master Eliza, Warrior Arya, I entrust you to Anubis, your old friend, in hopes it shall help you ensure that our most important divine party is a success. I can understand you, every word. Eliza, Chrono Lang Shen, I'm so happy I can barely breathe. Easy, Arya, we still have our mission to carry out. Not a mission. Our date. My first date. And my first day understanding dragon language. The date! She's passed out. Sorry Anubis. Let me just lug her onto your back and we'll be on our way. It feels so good for it to be accepted in canon. But either way, this is the event here. We have 6 levels like before. We do have the Divine Anubis Dragon as the main reward for this castle event. So if you open up every chest, you can get your hands on Anubis, which he's got some questionable elements, but his attack stat is okay. So you could just use him as an exclusive blesser. Although that's not really ideal, to be honest. But if you were stuck and you could only get Freya and like one other dragon, you could either use like Ammon or Uzume if you could get another Altar Dragon. But if not, Anubis could be that second one. But again, not ideal. The other dragon that we have, of course, is the Shuten-doji Dragon. And this guy you can get for finding the key on level 6. But the main reason you'd want to get Shuten-doji is so that you can get your hands on Chrono Isis. So we of course want to make our way through, and we are back to 200 points on the starting levels, and as we get onto the higher levels we will be able to earn more currency. So, level 1. What a lovely entrance hall, truly befitting the divine and righteous party. Sounds like an entertaining dragon. I hope we'll get to meet it. I suspect you shall. We must likewise ensure that this party is a success, and to do that I hope you two will have a good time. I've got a good feeling, Anubis, and I hear a joyous racket farther in. Is that a Viking folk song? Let's go investigate. And then we've got our first battle here, again, Shuten-doji. So, wahahaha, given now, dragon, I can assure you I've got more tricks up my sleeve. Rah, and give up our grappling match? Never. I haven't had this much fun with a human in years. Brother, I didn't expect to see you here. Are you wrestling the guests? I am no mere guest. I am the best party guest in all of Dragonlandia. Now show me what you and your dragons are made of. And then we got to use this designated dragon here. Which is kind of random because it looks like we are level 80 against a level 116. Excuse me. I think they screwed up. I think this is a big screw up. Hello? Oh dear. Oh dearie me. I think they messed this up. There's no option for us to skip it, and there is absolutely no way you'll ever beat this fight. Oh dear. Oh very dear. Well then, it's good to see that they have created an impossible battle for us to have to get past. I'd like to thank Gameloft for always making a very high quality product, especially considering this is the final castle event we'll ever be having. So thank you Gameloft for this very, very positive contribution to a final divine event. I guess for now, until they fix it, assuming they fix it, we will instead not do the actual event, and we're going to go and collect the currency instead. And I did already make a video before on how you can get all of the currency for these levels, and essentially, you know, we've got gold collecting is super easy, food collecting, use 6-hour or 1-hour food, they're by far the best ones that you can use to keep in time with the timers. Then the problematic one is the breeding. On the early levels, it's best to use war dragons, so that would be fire plus metal. You can also breed tree dragons as well, but that's the only possible dragon that we can breed. So we're going to breed that, get the 200 points, and that'll do us on this level and the second level. Obviously, as we get to higher levels, if you use the guide in our Discord server, you'll see that we can breed different dragons so that we can get more points. If I open it up here, if I drag it along, there we go. We can get all of these dragons from specific breeds, so you'd be breeding whichever dragon you want based on how many points you could get. So to start off with, we use war dragons, then lumino dragons, then you can use jungle dragons, for example. Most people stick with war and lumino for most of the event for different reasons, and if they've only got one breeding den, but we went through that in the last guide that we have. Feeding dragons, super easy. Hatch any dragon that you've got, put it over there, feed it up, then you don't have to really waste any food on the event. Super duper easy, super fast. Go ahead, sell the dragon, or keep it in the habitat so that you can earn some more gold out of it. And then we've got winning battles, which is, you can do the winning battles using your arena fights, which I do actually highly recommend, because again, then you won't use as much of your actual energy. And not wasting your energy is really important, because on the later levels, it will become a lot more difficult to have enough energy if you don't have tons stacked up like I do. Like, I've got over 1,000 energy stacked. It's not a problem for me, but for most players it will be. As most people ended up finding out after the previous castle event, and they had no energy left and couldn't finish the battles. But, you know, I've been warning you, before these castle events come out, it's always best to make sure you've saved up some energy at least. But at the same time, then you're not going to be being fully optimal, because to be fully optimal, you would be using all of your energy as soon as you have it so that you can get more resources. But you unfortunately can't do that with these events. It's just the way that it is. And then we go and destroy that Radiant Dragon. So it's still plus 25 per battle, which means that you need to do quite a lot of battles when we get onto the later stages. If we can even get onto the later stages, because if shuten-doji sits there and there's no way to skip it, even using currency, then the event is literally broken. And the reason why this in particular sucks is because you need to be moving in the castle event as quickly as possible. And if we have an impassable boss, that means that we are going to be missing out on potentially finding the keys earlier. We're going to miss out on more event currency. It could not possibly be worse, genuinely, than keeping you stuck on the first battle of the castle event. It could not be any worse than what they've done. But that's all of the event currency collected. This is all that we can really do for now. We're going to have to save up our 1,700 until they fix this. But this is genuinely... I can't stress enough how bad this is. If they don't fix it within a few hours, then that's it. This event is over for all of these players affected. I have seen that apparently some people are not affected. So it must be some sort of screw up or bug. But in case you're wondering, yes, this event currently is impossible. So I hope that they compensate with currency and fix it, or I really hope that they don't reset everything and force us to log back in again, because that would truly suck, especially for people on tight schedules and things like that. But there you go. There is an absolute garbage event that doesn't work, but you know how to tackle it if it does get fixed soon, so there's that. The other thing, of course, that we have is the bottomless dungeon, which it means it is a new dungeon week, and it means that you do need to be grinding your way through this if you want to get the most out of the rest of the event, because this is the final tickets week, so this is the time where you need to be grinding if you want to get the rest of the divine tickets you need to get all the altar dragons. Now, it's going to be a lot tougher for some rather than others, depending on the week, of course, and the dragons that you've got to use to, you know, do weak attacks. Weak attack quests in particular suck. Major baloney. And so they can take forever to do. Like in this instance here, we're just going to be sitting here doing weak attacks over and over and over again, because we just need to get the weak attacks done. It just takes forever. The best idea with weak attacks is to actually not defeat any of the enemy dragons, because again, then we can just sit with these low level dragons, just try and grind out the weak attack quest, but it could take a while. It genuinely could take a while, so yeah, there's that. But these two shouldn't be able to get taken out, as in my Lantern and Nezha dragon. They should be fine without having to bless early on. It's just when you get to a few dragons later, then they will get basically one shot. So you want to avoid facing the higher level dragons as much as possible. Like, there we go. We just took a lot of damage there, so I hope that we don't get taken out. Well, Lantern going down isn't actually that much of a problem. But I would rather like to avoid dying completely. I don't want that. My Lancer Dragon is good for fire attack quests, for example, but we don't actually need him necessarily. I've also got Ikez, so that is another major benefit of having lots of different team members available. But, you know, most of us know that. It's just not everyone can afford the food and the resources to have more than 3 dragons at once, so I completely get it. I get it. I get it. It's not easy to have more than 3 team members, but this is why having more than that is ideal, so that then you can do things like that without having to worry as much. Realistically, I would have just not let the lantern die, but, you know, I don't care. I think the castle event malarkey has already annoyed me. It's like, is it really that difficult to double check and make sure that the first boss fight isn't an impossible event? Really? It's just, it's diabolical. This is supposed to be the finale. This is supposed to be the major event, the wowza. I'm so happy that we've, you know, played DML all these years to finally be able to see this final divine event through to the end. And then, it just doesn't work. It's not the first time. Certainly not the first time, and it will definitely not be the last. But it's just very, very disappointing every time that it happens, to be completely honest with you. But you get the idea. We've been doing dungeon grinding plenty of times before. This is how you do it. Blessing, shielding, staying with the lower level dragons if you can, grinding out these quests. So now I can leave. We can come back in 10 minutes time and do the second dungeon run. But the dragon that we've got in here is actually Skyhorn, which I got lucky breeding it the other time, so I've already got this dragon. But we do also have a couple of things in here. We've got portal energy in here that you can buy if you get super desperate. We've got a double egg relic, but apart from that, nothing else of value. Academic is in here if you want it, but apart from that, nothing really of too much value. But remember, every single chest you open is going to have those divine tickets. This is the final week for you to be doing that super duper grinding for all of the altar divines, getting those holy talismans. So this is your final shot, really. We do have the week after this one, which is going to have Hades in the dungeon. Now, getting Hades as a shielder is really not a bad idea for some. For others, it would be absolutely terrible for their team, but Hades as a whole, you could use it if you really needed a shielder, although ancient shielders are normally better for a team than divine ones, but again, it does depend on your particular scenario and your particular team. But he will be coming. I don't believe that there will be divine tickets in that week at all, so it's just going to be Hades week, which will mean opening up that chest 15 times for that divine. But aside from that, there's not too much else going on. We do have the Loyal collection where you can get the Loyal Dragon. And for that, you're going to need the Sylvan Dragon, the Academic Dragon, and the School Bus Dragon. And remember that the Academic Dragon is in the dungeon, so you'd get that from there. And then the others, you know, they're pitter-pattering around with the school busing and everything else. So good luck if you want to go for that collection. But this is where people are going to start getting their hands on Chrono Isis around this week or into early next week. But first, you've got to get your hands on Shuten-doji to get Chrono Isis. That is the main thing. But to be honest with you, I can't really talk any more about this event because this battle is unwinnable. So for now, just be aware that the very second they fix this, assuming they do, you need to be logging in and getting to a higher level ASAP. Because just like last time, it is incredibly important that you try and make as much progress as you can early on. Because the higher the level that you're on, the more event currency you can earn. So this is a diabolical problem. If they don't fix this, we are screwed. So, good luck. I hope that you're not hit by this horrendous bug, and I guess screw all of us that are, right? It's not like we wanted to play the event anyway.